Yes, everybody has their own opinion on different channels, but I do love Twitter and I do love LinkedIn. I was one of the first 10,000 people on LinkedIn back in 2003 when it first came out. I was like, oh, what's this? Because I'm a bit of a bright, shiny object person. I was like, what is this? And I love networking. I used to be known as the networking queen of Manchester at one stage when I was a director of Greater Manchester Chamber. So I thought, oh, it's online networking, fabulous. And I had many and still have many arguments with some of the other LinkedIn trainers. There's one in Manchester who shall remain nameless, but he believes you should never link with anybody on LinkedIn that you don't know. Now, for me, that's a complete waste of an opportunity. That's a bit like going to a network event and saying, wow, look at all the people in this network event. Right, I'm only going to speak to Gary, Lewis and Hannah because I know them. I'm not speaking to anybody else. Why would you not connect with people you don't know on LinkedIn? It's a network. But anyway, there you go. So how many, can I have a show of hands, reactions? How many of you are managing LinkedIn personal profile or a page for your boss? I can see, who can I see? I can see Leah, Holly, Cameron, Ellie, Jack, Hannah Waits, Adris. I did see somebody with a real hand up before, and I've met Kai's got his real hand up. Okay. Are any of you going to be managing LinkedIn or think you should be doing LinkedIn for your employer who isn't at the moment? Morgan, Cameron, Chante, Keenan, Casey, Maya, brilliant. Louisa, excellent, good. Well, you're in the right place then, because that's what we're going to talk about this morning. So LinkedIn is definitely a business-to-business medium. That doesn't mean, though, that people who have business-to-consumer businesses can't use it, because you know, people are people. Everybody who owns a business is also a consumer. So it can be used for both. And what I said on Saturday, I was talking to a bunch of women in America about Instagram, actually, was, you know, somebody said, well, should I be doing Instagram? I said, well, it depends on where your audience is, and it depends on how much time you have. So if your main audience is on LinkedIn, but you have time or the inclination or the money to outsource it, do Instagram as well. And that applies to LinkedIn. So if LinkedIn is not your main platform, but your boss has time and inclination, then great. And it's a fantastic platform. So I'm going to share my screen and show you some stuff. So first thing I'm going to show you, before we even get to some really important stuff like profiles, because that is, you know, that's the fundamental key to getting business. But the first thing I'm going to show you is something that you can very, very quickly affect, which will impress your boss and get your reach on LinkedIn up. So let's go to, not all your bosses will know this. Some of them may know it, some of them won't know it. Oh, I've dropped. Chloe, we've dropped on LinkedIn. We need to be doing more. We need to be doing more. So if you go to linkedin.com/sales/SSI, let me put that in the chat for you. That will show you have to be logged in as the boss if you want to see this stats. It will show you what your industry ranking is and what your network ranking is. So my industry ranking is 1%. I'm in the top 1%. I'm in the top 2% of my network. That's dropped. It was top 1% last week. And it gives you a mark out of 100 on 4 main areas. Just seeing if anybody was awake then. I had 5 fingers up. 4 main areas. Establishing your brand, finding the right people, engaging and building relationships. Now, as you can see, I'm a 25 out of 25 on building relationships. We do a lot of talking to our customers and our potential customers through LinkedIn. We do a lot of commenting on their stuff. Up here on orange, establishing your professional brand. We're pretty high up on that. The areas we need to work on is finding the right people. That's always low for us because I've got a lot of connections. I don't particularly spend a lot of time going out and finding people on LinkedIn because they're finding me. But if I want this to go up, then I'll need to. And engaging with insights, what does that mean? Well, if you click on the little question mark, it tells you, discover and share conversation-worthy updates. Yeah. So this is one of the best ways that you can grow on LinkedIn, is to go and find a conversation and get involved in it and share it. Because as I said briefly in the 10:30 call, people, LinkedIn algorithm wants you to share stuff. There's an account that I follow and all they ever do is share stuff. They have none of their own stuff ever. And they have really come up the rankings in the last 12 months. Now, I wouldn't suggest that you only ever share other people's stuff, but that is what the algorithm wants you to do, is to share other people's stuff. So we work on a principle of what we call 10 to 1. Who's heard of the 10 to 1? Hands up. Excellent. So it's been on some of the other trainings that we've done. So the 10 to 1 is every day you go onto your boss's profile, you like 10 things that other people are talking about. You can go through the news feed and find them, or you can follow a hashtag to find them, or you can go to particular people's accounts and see what they're posting about. So there's different ways of doing that, but you want to like 10 things, you want to comment on 2 of them, and you want to share at least 1 onto your boss's profile. So you will, in order to do that, you'll need to agree with your boss whose stuff they're happy to share. Yeah, because you can't be going to them every day. This is what we do with our clients. Can't be going to them every day and going, oh, I was thinking of sharing this, I was thinking of sharing that. It's too time consuming. What you want is 10 or 20 accounts that they are happy for you to share their stuff anytime.
Carol, do you mind if I tune in just on a couple of basics? Carol, I share my screen as well. Carol is beating me. No, I don't mind that. I'm still 1% in the industry, 76. So I'm not.
We've both dropped. Because you were higher than that a couple of weeks ago as well.
This is the thing. You need consistency.
You do it all the time.
You need consistency. So I'm just going to go really back to basics, just in case you're not aware of how LinkedIn works. LinkedIn is business to business. So
can I just finish that one point before you go on? Sorry. So take a screenshot. If you have your boss's LinkedIn, go to a sales stroke SSI, take a screenshot of where it is today. Do the 10 to 1 for a week and then take a screenshot of where it is in a week's time. And I promise you, it will be way better. Yeah. And that'll impress your boss, as well as getting you reach out for your posts more. Now we go to basics. So Gary.
Just in case you're thinking, well, what's this all about? LinkedIn works slightly differently to all the others in terms of its algorithm. So you can put up a post and it will last a week, because only 1 or 2% of the people that are on LinkedIn make content. There's no other place that you can put something up and it will still be hanging around for a week. You can re-energize it by making comments on other people, or people making a comment on yours. So you say I make a piece of content today, and then in a few days' time, Carol comments on it, it goes back into people's feeds. That's very unusual. But this is the basics, right? So we've got Carol. Oh God, let me start again. All right, so we've got Carol. And there you go. And you got me. Let's do a different color. So in Facebook terms, we are friends. But we call this a first connection in LinkedIn talk. So say, Carol, how many followers have you got there, Carol?
I don't know, multiple thousands.
Thousands, right? So let's just say 20,000, and I'm about 20,000 too. So if I follow Carol and I don't have the same connections as her, my connections have suddenly increased 20,000. It's nuts. Because here's the interesting thing. So let's say, Leah. This is Leah. Leah, do you mind being green?
That's fine.
I'll put you some nice hair. All right, so this is Leah, and Leah is not connected to Carol. So between I am the link between Carol and Leah, and this is called the second connection. Now, on the first connection, you get some privileges. You can inbox whoever you like, right? That's good. You don't have to pay extra. But when you're a second connection, you can still inbox, but it comes with a little note. You have to make a little comment to say it's not spam. So let's say Leah. Leah, do you know how many LinkedIn followers you have?
Oh, not many.
100. Right? We'll say 100. So if by connecting with Carol, you then get 20,000 second connections. Amazing. And then if you say, look, Gary, you can send me a message and say, hey, Gary, would you mind introducing me to Carol? And you and Carol become friends. You get 40,000 connections. Now, last one, before we hand back, Danielle, how you doing? Do you mind being blue? Even though you're wearing green today.
No, that's fine.
You got lovely long hair, so let's go with that. Let's go with lovely long hair. There you go. I'll even do a bow in your hair. My drawings are well famous, so they need to be NFTs. I tell you. I'm sorry, I messed up your eyes. So let's just say you really want to speak with Carol. You don't know me, nor do you know Leah. Okay, so it would be called a third connection because you need two people to get you to that person. And there's a very famous book. It's called 9 Degrees of Separation. That was before the internet. You were always 9 degrees away from anyone on the planet. We're now 2 or 3 degrees away. So to grow your connections, I completely agree with Carol. Grow your connections so then you can reach out and you can contact people. This is the least fun platform out of the lot of them. And that's the reason, because they're in a suit. LinkedIn thinks suit. Think TikTok flip-flops and flip-flops and a t-shirt, right? And a pair of shorts. Facebook, you think you're smart casual. This is for business, and it's more serious, and you can't really afford to do things sketchy. It's got to look professional. So that is the basics of, I hope for the more visual out there that you understand that, and that wasn't boring. So there you go. Back to you, Carol.
The good thing about your first, second and third line connection, so just again to reinforce that, your first line connection is somebody that you're literally connected with on LinkedIn. They've asked to, connect with you, you've agreed. Second line connections, so if I'm connected with Gary, all Gary's connections are now my second line connections. Yeah. And if one of Gary's connections is Leah, and Leah is then connected to Danielle, then Danielle is a third line connection. Yeah, so I'm not connected to her and Gary's not connected to her, but Leah is connected to her. So that's the third line. And when I put a post out, it will potentially go to all of those people, first, second and third line connections. Yeah.
Naomi, how are you? You're a face I don't know. Have we overcomplicated matters? Is it as straightforward as it is, or have we, be my sense check? Do you get it?
Yeah, I understand it.
I'm glad about that.
Good. So, LinkedIn, let's go back to the very basics. So for week 1 people, what you'll be doing is you'll be having a look at your employer's LinkedIn this week and saying whether you think it's any good or not. Yeah, because they need your input. So I'm going to my LinkedIn. Let's go to my profile. Okay, so let's move some things out of the way. Right, so what I want you to do is look at your own profile, look at your employer's profile. You should have a LinkedIn profile. If you don't have one, go create one, because people will expect you to be there. And as you go through your career, this is your network. Yeah. So a lot of people you'll see on a profile, they don't use the profile header. They have some other random thing on. Let me just stop sharing for a minute. I'm going to take you to a little presentation that I did, and let's have a look at some of these profiles. This is a bit of fun. Okay. Okay, share my screen. All right. So Jacqueline Lucina. Can you see her on my screen? Let me just try and make her bigger. There we go. Right, what's wrong with this profile? Anybody?
There's no header photo.
There's no header. Yeah, that's the LinkedIn header. This horrible greeny grey thing, which is a waste of space. That's the LinkedIn one. So she hasn't used that. What else is wrong with it? What else could be improved?
Her about section isn't about her company. It's about her.
Thank you. Brilliant. Yes. It's about, if you see loads of I's and we's in the about, then you're just missing a trick. I always say to my clients, don't we all over your potential clients. It's not about you. The about is always about them. Yeah, at least in how you help them. So I graduated from the Illinois Institute of Art in Chicago in March 2000. Who cares? With my degree in web design. Who cares? Since then I've been freelancing. Who cares? I don't care. What I want to know is, what can you do for me? Yeah. Are you somebody that I want to connect with? And up here in the bit that's under her name, owner and designer at From Rain to Rainbow. So it's a lovely company name, but you know, it doesn't really tell me anything about it other than she's a designer. So she's not targeting her target audience within that at all. Yeah. Let's see. How do we go to the next one? There we go. Irina. What does anybody think of Irina's profile here?
Reminds me of Facebook rather than LinkedIn. It's too personal.
Yeah. And what about this header?
I don't really understand why
Yes.
she's got.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't understand it. She's got two pictures of the same group of people. Who are they and why do you need them twice? And what is this in the middle? You can't even see it, can you?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Her writing is a little bit better than the pictures. It's at least intriguing. One of the things that gets people to look at something is the curiosity factor. So if she knows her target audience very well, then maybe they will react to what she's writing. But in terms of the picture, pretty bad. Ted, gotta love Ted. So the good thing about Ted is it's a nice profile picture. At least he's smiling. I wouldn't have the hand up to the face like that, but at least he's smiling. But again, LinkedIn header, energy management major at Delaware Technical Community College. Yay. Great. Christine Carey, nice shot. To be honest, she works for Aon. They've probably told her that's the header she has to use, but at least it's colourful. And her about is a little bit more, you know, a little bit more, but it's still about her. My aim is not so good. What about this one? What does anybody think of this one?
Super tacky.
Yes, it is, isn't it? It really is. I would have this. She's got ditch the diet there. That's what she needs on the header. Supreme minority, what does that even mean? Presumably it's her company name, but it doesn't mean anything. If she's all about ditching the diet, I don't see how supreme minority relates to that whatsoever. What do you think of the little description though?
I think it's quite good.
It is good. She's exactly targeting her target audience. I help body conscious, time pressured women ditch unhealthy food and body relationships to achieve freedom from dieting within my 12-week one-to-one coaching program. Freedom from dieting, that's what most people want, isn't it? So she's completely got her target audience there, and she's got some keywords in: mindset coach, NLP, transformation, confidence. So not bad. That's better. We're getting better. Right, this is to show you how even the famous people can get it wrong. So we've got James Caan here. Does anybody know James Caan? You're gonna have to speak because I can't see any of you at the moment. So you're gonna have to tell me.
He's a
'Cause
dragon.
you might be a serial entrepreneur, philanthropist, and former dragon.
Indeed, he might be, although that's his words. But yeah, he is a former dragon, recruitment owner, very well known in the recruitment world for being a shark. But don't repeat that outside this room, of course. Now, nice picture at the top, very high quality picture. He's not looking at the camera over here, which isn't the best on his own personal profile. Who cares about this? Serial entrepreneur, philanthropist, former dragon, I don't care. But he's got 3.2 million followers, so he probably doesn't care either. He can put anything he wants up there. But the missed opportunity for me is the first thing in his about is for speaking opportunities, visit jamescarn.com. And yet it's not a picture of him speaking, it's a picture of him working with young people. So which is it? Does he want to work with young people? Does he want speaking opportunities? If it's speaking opportunities, he wants a picture of him on stage. Yeah. Shantae, you've got your hand up. I can see you. I can see the top two people.
I have my hand up. That was up from earlier.
Okay, that's all right. Olivia, are you supposed to have yours up?
Sorry, yeah, this might sound silly, but are followers and connections the same thing?
That's a good question. No. Connections is what would make you a first. I am actually a first line connection with James Carn, probably from my recruitment days. But now you probably struggle to connect with James, and what you'd have to do is follow him. When you click, oh, I can't click on the more because it's a PowerPoint presentation. But when you click on more, you've got an option to follow, so you can follow.
So is it better to have more followers then?
No, it's better to have more connections, because followers, you're not connected with their connections, so you don't get any second or third.
Okay, I understand. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
No problem. Emma, she's a travel counsellor. Again, they probably tell her what headline to put up here, what header picture to put up. Nice picture. It's the right distance. You only want the top of the shoulders so you can see more of the face, and she's smiling and she's looking directly at the camera. Perfect. And then helping busy professionals who love to experience the world through travel to make memories by creating bespoke itineraries where every detail counts. So again, she's targeting the type of people that she wants there. And she's got some keywords: travel, family adventures, stress-free holidays. Yeah. So that's not bad. Tony Robbins, anybody heard of Tony Robbins? Yeah. Tony's, again, he's very well known in the personal development world. And again, he's a bit all over the place though on the profile. Headshot, yes, that's good. Now his header says double your impact. He's got a program where he's trying to feed 1 billion people. Yeah. By 2023 or 4, I can't remember. Feeding America. Donate a meal, change a life. Great. And he's got the WW for that on there as well, which is great. But then in the about, for over 30 years, my passion's been helping people to break through and take their lives to another level. It says nothing about the 1 billion meals. And if that's the most important thing for him, you know, personally, I'd have it in the little description under his name, and I'd have it in the about. So there we go. Julie, she's a Kickstarter boss. She's one of our clients. It's good. She's got some emojis in here, which breaks it up a bit. She's using all her brand colours in the header. She's after quiet leaders, people who need to grow in confidence and impact. So that's pretty good. So there we go. Working with the algorithm is what we were talking about before. Sharing is caring. The algorithm wants you to share. So make sure that you're sharing on LinkedIn. So profile, go and have a look at all your boss's profiles. Have a look at your own profile and see whether you could be doing better or they could be doing better. Yeah. Remember, about is always about the audience. It's about you, but in relation to the audience, yeah, that you're looking for. The other bits of a profile, let's go back and have a look at some more profile things. If I could get off, hang on a minute, just get off this PowerPoint. Go back to LinkedIn. Right. So other bits of LinkedIn profile that's important. You've got featured here. So in your featured, You can put anything that's, you know, that's important right now. Have you got an event coming up? Have you got a freebie somewhere? Have you got I've got a video testimonial here. You know, anything that you want people to see can go in featured. We've got another video testimonial. We've got a bit of an announcement. We've got quite a few things in featured. A challenge that we ran, a book that I've written. So you can put anything you want pretty much under featured. Activity, it shows you what activity you've been doing. About, so for example, speaks directly to the audience that we're looking for, small business owner. As a small business owner, perhaps you feel like it's all hard work with little reward. Maybe you face the face you present to the outside world is very different from how you feel inside. Maybe your business is doing okay, but you know it could be doing better, and you wish there was someone you could really open up to who would understand. And then, you know, the first 3 paragraphs are all about them. They're all about the audience. And then I start talking about what we do in relation to that audience. Then you've got your experience. Any licenses or certifications can go on there. Your degree, as you can see, I did that most useful of degrees, theology at Hull University. But any certificates, anything can go in there. Skills. Now, skills is what people are endorsing you for. What do people think you're good at? So it won't show you how many you've got that's over 99, but it'll show you up to 99. So recruiting, obviously I was in recruitment for 20 years, training, strategy, they're the top 3 skills there that are showing. Recruitment, advertising, blah, 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 it goes on and on, yeah. So make sure that you've got the right skills there for your employer so that people can endorse them for those skills. And then really important is recommendations. So we've got at the moment 50 recommendations. A lot of those are recent and for social media and for SMKT for the training. So it's important to be continually have a recruitment of testimonial strategy. Have a way of getting testimonials on LinkedIn for your employer because they matter. One of my friends, he markets himself as the most testimonialed or the most referred sales trainer on LinkedIn, because he's got like, I don't know, 1,000 referrals. And that certainly will make a difference to, you know, when he's recommended and people come and look at his profile, like, blimey, he's got 1,000 referrals for this. So try and build up your LinkedIn testimonials. LinkedIn testimonials are important because you can't fake them unless you're going to create a whole fake account just so you can give somebody else a testimonial. People know that these are real people. Yeah. So
something I should add there, Carol, like when you recommend somebody else, it shows your face, and it's a really good thing. You know that if you are really good at what you do, you go to the front. So if you don't mind, then just going down a little bit there, Carol, and it says that you're 99 out of 100 for social media. You know that bit?
Yeah. And
you'll see that the person in front, the one that's go down a little bit there, Carol.
So you've got there, endorsed by.
Endorsed by. No, but I'm talking about this bit. Hold on. It's the bit where it says 99 out of 100.
Yeah, that's what I was on.
Yeah. You see, the person that's at the front is the one that's got the highest endorsement for whatever it happens to be. If that makes sense. So endorsing others is another strategy you really want to think about doing. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. Let me show you visually. So you see, it says here, so endorsed by Dennis Young. So 99 is the highest score you can get. Dennis is like, he does the social media for the NBA. Like, he's amazing. And again, look, he's there again for Facebook. This person, John Richardson, renowned. Let you see 99, 99, 99, 99. It's amazing. And that's what you want to be doing. You want to be endorsing others as well, because it gets your name out there. Thanks, Carol.
No problem. So you've got the recommendations at the bottom, you've got languages, organizations, and then who are you following as well down there. So make sure the profile is up to par. And then the other thing is, do you know that you can follow hashtags on on LinkedIn? So when we're looking at doing the 10-to-1 or looking at who we should be following, who we want to be connecting to, then it's a good idea to follow hashtags. So social media, for example, I'm following that as a hashtag. People will type in things into LinkedIn without a hashtag. So if we type in social media without a hashtag, we get a bunch of stuff. Yeah, let's have a look at posts. But if you, so we've got Wendy Maynard and Alex Mead, but if you put a hashtag in front of that, you'll get a different bunch of stuff. Oh, Wendy Maynard, oh good, no, they both come up. Sometimes you get different ones. So if you follow a hashtag, it makes it easy for you to do your 10-to-1. So liking, commenting, sharing stuff, because everything in this news stream now is about social media. And if you've had your LinkedIn for a long time, like I've reinvented myself many times in my career. So I've got a lot of people who follow me who are in the recruitment world, as we just saw, including James Carl. I don't necessarily now want to be sharing stuff on recruitment. So if you follow a hashtag, that gives you an easier way to do it. And if you go down the hashtag, so you're doing a bit of a longer stream, social media marketing, for example, has less followers, but this is part of your hashtag strategy. When you're putting hashtags on posts, yes, you can put social media on a post, but did we see how many people were following that? Your post's going to appear for a fraction of a second, yeah, in somebody's feed. If you follow and use longer tail hashtags, that means a sentence rather than just a word, a phrase, then your post is probably going to come up more times when people are searching for that hashtag. Does that make sense? Or do I need to go over that again? Everybody's very quiet. Shantae, did you understand what I just said about long tail hashtags? Yeah. Okay. All right, good. So what we're on 11:40. Blimey, that's gone fast. Questions and other, yeah.
I just want to put in one thing that I used to pay £150 a month to be part of something called LinkedIn Party. And because we know that if a LinkedIn post gets responded to within the first 10 minutes, it goes nuts. So it was called LinkedIn Party. I will speak to Carol about maybe organizing a LinkedIn party for you guys. But Show Me the Love is where you really can take it to the next level of LinkedIn. I've just put a book in Show Me the Love. The book's worth like 40 quid. It's called Eat the Pudding First. And it talks about LinkedIn in there. Check it out. Like, you guys are not using Show Me the Love enough at all. It's the same people using it, and it really does make a big difference. So again, for week one, to work for you, this is the way you make it work.
For week one, people, Show Me the Love is a WhatsApp group that we've created where you can put a link in to LinkedIn, to Facebook, to anywhere you want, and other people who see that post will go and comment on it and like it. Yeah, and you can do the same for them. Use the group, and it's all in that thread because it was getting a bit busy in the general WhatsApp Kickstarter group. So we made a separate group for just sharing stuff. But do use it because it will make a difference to your post. Like Gary said, if in the first hour of a post going out on LinkedIn, it gets lots of comments, likes, shares, then LinkedIn will go, oh, that's popular. We'll send it out to a few more people.
We've got some questions, Carol.
We have. Rebecca.
With the following hashtag strategy on LinkedIn, would you have to incorporate that hashtag into your post for it to go onto their page, or does it do it automatically?
No, you'd have to put that into your post.
Right, okay.
And LinkedIn, look, most people on LinkedIn don't understand social media. So I'd say hashtag strategy is, you just want great content, Rebecca. Great content will lead to loads of engagement that will lead to thousands of eyeballs. And
But
even
our software as well will tell you what the right amount of hashtags to use is. So, you know, if we just look under, so for week 1 people, you haven't done this yet, but socially sorted, under analytics, under insights, you can put any of your profiles in there and it will tell you what hashtags to use and how many. Yeah. So for example, for this account, and this is a Facebook, oh no, all 30, right, let's just move it to, has anybody got LinkedIn connected here? Right, Fred, let's have a look at Fred's. Right, so for Fred, the most engaged is 3 to 5 hashtags. Yeah, 3 to 5. So, and that's more engaged than 1 to 2, and it's more engaged than none. But you'll have to look at your own insights because it's different for everybody. Mine is about 8 on LinkedIn.
I'm going to take a bold statement here, and I don't mind making bold statements. Hashtags will not be part of social media in the next few years. Instagram have said that it makes very little difference now, 14, 15, 20, put however many you want, it will make hardly any difference. The reason hashtags came in the first place is because the search engine wasn't sophisticated enough to have bots to understand where it all sat. So there's a bold statement. You fast forward 2 years, hashtags won't even be a thing.
I think you're right, Gary, because Twitter, for example, has already changed their algorithm so that it will just find the keywords without the actual hashtag on it. So I'm sure they'll all do that.
Our clients get their knickers in a twist about this stuff. So you got to do it to keep them sweet right now, but put them there and it looks very amateurish if you put too many in the wrong thing. So if you put 10 in Facebook, it just, you look like a dick. Like, you've got to make sure that it's right. It's just, don't get hung up on how many hashtags and what hashtags. There are far more important things in baking this cake, like great content, engagement, entertainment. These are the most important things. So great question, Rebecca. You definitely, the questions are what you see at the top of our brain. Carol and I got like loads of experience, and we kind of know what we're going to tell you, but some of the best things you get out of us is when you ask a question, it spins off somewhere else. So because of you, Rebecca, we've now made a bold prediction and we talked about hashtags. So well done you. Have we got another question?
I think Olivia's got a question, but just
She's
before
been so patient.
She has. Go on, Olivia. Tell me a question because I want to come back to what Gary just said in a second. Olivia.
No, sorry, I'm sort of understanding the personal profiles as like an in-depth CV of a person. Like when you're putting all the details and stuff, that's obviously personally about you. But is there anything different from a personal account to a business account? Is there anything that you'd add differently?
Good question. So the CV idea, LinkedIn originally was for that purpose. It was for finding your next job, basically. And it isn't necessarily that now. So for some people, it still is. And if it is your intention to get another job, then you want to set up your profile in a particular way. But if it's a business owner, then it's not for that purpose. It's for showing people what experience they have and how they can help them. So a business page, you can't have a business profile on LinkedIn, but you can have a business page. And a business page you need for a couple of reasons. So the first reason is if you ever want to advertise on LinkedIn, you'll need to have a business page because you can't advertise from a personal profile. Secondly, what it's really good for is if you're a big international company and you've got people around the world who can comment, share your content or talk to each other within the page, it's great. So if you're Hewlett-Packard, you definitely need a business page. If you're not Hewlett-Packard, you still unfortunately need one, like I say, if you ever want to do any advertising, but don't expect to get loads of traction on a business page. You post.
I was going to say that for my company, most of the like individual people get more interaction than the business
Of course
page.
they do.
It seems like it's just there.
Yeah.
But is there anything different? Like, that was my question. There's nothing like different that you have to do to the business page.
you get a few insights and things with the business page, but if you've not got many followers, that doesn't make much difference. So what I would say is you can always share something from your business page to the personal profile.
Yeah,
and then that might get your business page more eyes on. Yeah, Gary.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah.
It's very useful for you guys to know how the platforms monetize. How does LinkedIn make money? How does it make money? Anyone? Louise? Millhouse? What a great surname. Do you know how LinkedIn make money? No. Would it make sense as social media experts to know how does Instagram make money? Adverts, blatantly. Facebook is so blatant. Adverts all day long and selling data. They sell data as well. So Twitter as well. These guys understand how they monetize. So LinkedIn in particular monetized by Carol, and I give them an extra 70 quid a month. Oh, I do anyway. Carol, are you just on the gold or are you on Navigator?
Sales Nav.
So 70 quid leaves my account every month and I pay them for that. If I want to do adverts, I think that it's not cheap, is it, Carol, LinkedIn adverts? So as social media experts, you guys figure out how they make money. And then if that's how they make money, then that's what they want from you. Makes sense? So if you figure out how Google make money, then it really does help. Knowing the blueprint. If anyone here wants to make extra money, by the way, come and speak to me and Carol, because we would love, there's a trillion ways of making extra money, whether it be affiliates or different things. So I'm part of something called Utility Warehouse. Anyone else part of this? Carol, are you part of it?
Yeah.
Are you a distributor?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
I am as well. So for a tenner a month, Carol and I can teach you how to make £1,000 extra a month. And I only did it to learn the blueprint. So learning the blueprint of these work is also really important. And I think that you really, to be good at this and really excellent. I heard something really interesting the other day. When you go when you're an actor or an actress and you go for an audition, it's really difficult to prove how much better you are than the actress or actress next to you. Is that fair enough, Danielle or Paul? Would you say that was, because you get to a certain level of acting and you can't really be much better than like method act? Or the difference is your USP. Can you put weight on? Can you lose weight? Is your body shape right? Is your face right? Do you look different? Have you got a distinctive feature? Have you got an accent? And this is about being a social media manager. That there's a shitload out there. If you've got a mobile phone, you think you're a social media manager. What's different about you? What makes you different? And then it's about understanding how the manual works as well. How many of you have read the terms and conditions of Instagram? Probably no one. It's worth understanding how it all works. So there's me on my rant. Back over to you, Carol.
No problem. So 2 more things that I just want to quickly go through with you before we wrap it up for today. So for some of you, you'll already know this. For week 1 people, you won't, but it sparked out from something Gary was saying about, the most important thing is that you make good content. It sounds obvious, but it absolutely is the most important thing, because you've got 2 audiences on any platform. You've got the algorithm, and you have to satisfy the algorithm, but the algorithm will be satisfied if you're satisfying the other audience, which is the real people that you're after. Yeah. So if you're getting engagement and traction and likes and reach and comments, and then the algorithm will love you anyway. So EIEIO is how we make that happen. So this is, people go to social media to be social. They don't go to be sold to, or otherwise it would be called selling media. They go for entertainment, they go for inspiration, they go for education, and they go for information. So let me go through those a little bit more. Education is how-tos, how to do something, generally. Information, what's new in the industry, what's new in your business, what's new in your location, what's new. Be the first to break the news. People love telling people stuff they didn't already know. So give them some stuff they can tell other people. Entertainment, that's all your cat videos, your puppy videos, your whatever videos. But it doesn't necessarily need to be that for your business, but it does need to make people smile. It needs to entertain them. Yeah. So it could be a poll, a quiz, it could be a meme, it could be a case study, you know, something that makes people feel a bit better about their life. Yeah. And are you all right, Kiana? Kiana, you've got your hands over your face. Are you okay? So that's entertainment. And the second eye is inspiration. So God knows why, but people love quotes on social media. Quotes always get a lot of traction, but you know, make sure they're relevant to your business and that you comment on them. So because why are quotes important? Because they make people feel something. Yeah, if it's a good quote, it'll make people think.
And trend jacking. Who saw this bitch slap last night? Who saw this?
Yeah, we all saw it. We were talking about it earlier.
32 comments on my private group. It's a massive thing because I'm trend jacking. No point talking about this now. You got to talk about it as soon as it breaks.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's and people who've already done the 90-day training, 90-day plan training will know that's the water. That's the sprinkle on top of everything, is the catching the trends or what's going on today that you need to jump on. That stuff you can't plan. That's reactive stuff. But in terms of stuff that you can plan, EIEIO, and the O is opportunity or offer. It's not a sale. It's not a buy my shirt. It's a, by the way, if you're interested in LinkedIn, we've got a free webinar on the 13th of April at 1 o'clock, which we have actually. Or if you're interested in Google My Business, free webinar, that's the kind of offer or opportunity that I'm talking about. Yeah. So that's one thing I wanted to say. And then the very, very last thing I wanted to say is that when the algorithms bring out a new feature, they want you to use it and they will reward you for using it because they think it's a great idea. Yeah. And if they can see that you think it's a great idea as well, they're like,
remember when
Gary and Carol, they're doing the right things. We're going to give them more reach. What's the new feature on LinkedIn? It's newsletters. So I would suggest that if your employer, and I guarantee you they're not using it, if they're not using newsletter, you need to be creating a newsletter for them. I can do a whole training session on that another time.
Do you remember when LinkedIn done stories?
Sorry?
Do you remember when LinkedIn tried to copy?
Oh yeah,
I mean, that was.
They don't always work, by the way, but they do reward you with reach if you at least try them. And at the moment, newsletters are getting massive traction. So you know, for example, I've got a few clients using newsletters. One of them has something like a 32% open rate on their emails, which is pretty good for email open rate. We write their emails, by the way. That's probably why they've got a good open rate. But it's 32% of 500 people. Yeah, in that we do the same newsletter as a LinkedIn newsletter, and they get 10 times the people watching, reading that newsletter because she's got a lot of connections. So newsletters are very good. And I will do some training on that next week, some specific training on LinkedIn newsletters. All right, that's it. It's 3 minutes to 12. Any last questions? Has it been worth it? Are you still awake?
It's quite.
Anybody learned anything today? Put your hands up if you learned something today that you didn't know about LinkedIn. If everybody's hand isn't up, I'm going to be very disappointed. Excellent.
Carol, do you mind doing me a favor? The boot camp tomorrow is Google My Business. Wednesday, it's what?
Instagram.
Today's Insta.
Thursday is Twitter.
And then we got our speaker on Friday.
Speaker on Friday is at 3:30 this week. Remember, guys, because it's he's American.
Can I desperately encourage you to use Show Me the Love? Like, it really will impress your boss that loads of engagements happening. Really, really try and use it. And don't be selfish and only ever ask. You got to give back. So you say, look, whoever just shared in Share the Love just now, who was it? Let's have a look. Because this really is your secret weapon. Does that who here, Grace, do you like it? Share the love. I don't see your name on there very often. Do you use it?
Oh, you're on mute, Grace.
I'm not picking on you.
Oh, sorry. I was just talking so long then. But no, yeah, I like it. I've only just been added in, but I do need to use it more. So thanks for the reminder.
Oh God, like, if you're not on there, it really is our secret sauce. We can make a big difference. So whoever, look, Kath, can you say hello to us, Kath? Who just put this up? So, who?
Is it Kafil?
Kafil, look, Kafil. He's put, would you mind sharing? So I straight away did that, and I went in there. Like, it's only eight people have got involved. Look how many people are on this call. Like, imagine getting 46 likes on that thing. That would be nuts. Like, I'll put the link there. Please go on there, have a look. So that's practically, if we could get it to a point where you've got practically 50 likes, shares, comments on everything you put on there, very powerful. Your bosses also like the idea of this. They were like, I didn't even know of this thing. It's something that we're trying to create the community for.
If it gets too big and too unwieldy, we'll solve it. We'll bring it into smaller groups of people. But for now, just go in that group, use it as much as possible, but give the love as well as asking for the love. All right. I love him's picture with the cat. All right.
Have a lovely day, everyone.
See you all tomorrow.